Welcome everyone to the Persian Perspective.
The Persian perspective.
Persian perspective.
The Farsi fuckery. Yes.
Perspective. Fuckery perspective. Mwah.
Mm.
Welcome
The mic's in my
everybody.
asshole right now.
Yeah.
I'm
Hence the
ready.
noises you were making.
I'm doubling down,
You'd
dude.
be popular in Bangkok.
Ooh.
Welcome everybody to another show with me, Rakib and Rizman. Hope whatever the fuck we're gonna talk about in this session be
Greetings,
interesting to you
degenerates.
fuckers.
It's
Yeah.
nice. It's nice
Yeah.
to be on. It's nice to talk to some peoples again.
Yeah, it is. Especially with the lockdown right now. Which lockdown are we on now? 25th?
Motherfucker, I have
30,000?
lost count. I have lost count already. Like they're
Yeah.
putting numbers inside numbers now. This is probably number what? Three
We're
at
like
this
in,
point.
We're like in Roman numerals.
Yeah.
Of lockdown.
3.2.
Yeah.
They've run out of numbers. They've started using Roman numerals. For
So it's like the third lockdown, and it's the first phase of the third lockdown. This
It's
is
the first phase of the stage 2 of the third lockdown.
Yeah, it's Windows 3.2.1, right? And
Mm.
we're all playing solitaire.
Service Pack 2.
Yes. Right, we're all playing
Oh.
Minesweeper. Except instead of mines, it's COVID.
It's COVID. Well, I think we should all talk about positive things right now to lift up our spirits. Let's talk about good stuff. Bill Cosby is out.
You fucker. Man, it's really hard to make sweaters in prison. You know what I mean?
It's
Can't make the sweaters in the prison. But you know but they get
What?
Jello in prison, so I don't know why he was complaining.
Oh yeah, he gets his
Jello. Get the Jello, the mashed potato.
So how long was he in?
Oh, what was it?
He was there for two years.
Wow.
2 years?
So if you
He was there for more than 2 years now. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So apparently, he got off. Yeah, he got off because the testimony that the confessions, the evidence or the testimony that he gave was incriminating himself, so it was inadmissible.
Is it?
How is that possible? Wait, so the evidence he was giving was actually against himself, correct?
Yeah, so he was incriminating
Is
himself.
that what you meant? So if I go and shoot my mother in the face,
Mhm.
and then I get arrested, and the evidence I give to the court is that the gun that I shot her with, is that not gonna count? Because I'm working against myself.
Yeah. So apparently, a 6-1 vote said that Mr. Bill Cosby's rights to self-incrimination under the Fifth Amendment Act had been violated. So it's legal. That's the reason why he got released. That might be a civil lawsuit. I'm not quite sure,
But he got released. He's out now, correct? He got released from prison, correct?
yeah, the rape convictions was overturned because he incriminated himself. Yeah.
That doesn't make. Shouldn't he? What? So if you like help out the courts in screwing yourself over, you get out earlier.
Yeah, because it stands against the Fifth Amendment. You have a right against the self-incriminate. You have the right to not incriminate yourself when you give
You
testimony.
have the right to not incriminate yourself.
Yeah,
but because that's against the amendment. So therefore, you're
So you can confess. You can confess to a crime, but you cannot incriminate yourself if you are giving testimony or if you're giving evidence.
wow.
How come no one's done this before?
Actually, I heard that the Harvey Weinstein is gonna pull that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Harvey Weinstein is gonna use the same case against in his own trial right now.
So I'm going to read from BuzzFeed News, okay? Because apparently
Go ahead.
BuzzFeed is now a legitimate news source.
Yeah,
So,
it's true.
a majority of the state justice concluded that Cosby's constitutional rights had been violated when the local prosecutors in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania, charged him in 2015. The problem with that criminal case, the court found, was that a previous district attorney had announced a decade earlier that Cosby wouldn't face prosecution. The announcement triggered a series of events that included Cosby providing incriminating information against himself in a civil lawsuit which eventually became part of the criminal prosecution he was under the impression would never happen. It is an extraordinary situation that, as the court itself noted in Wednesday's decision, was without precedent, which is to say it never happened before. The problem wasn't just that the then Montgomery County District Attorney Bruce Castor had made the unusual public commitment outside the normal process of an immunity agreement. It also wasn't just that a later district attorney went back on Castor's public pledge. The court found that Cosby's decision to rely on Castor's statement and incriminate himself in the civil case, and to then have those statements used against him, ran so far afoul of his due process rights that the only way to fix it was to throw out the entire prosecution.
Wow. Another
Wow.
comedian who defies the American laws. First you had Lenny Bruce, George Carlin, now you got Bill Cosby,
Yeah.
man. Oh my God.
Wow.
Wrong reasons.
I saw
Wrong
there is a
reasons.
video. There is a video of him. There's a video of him right now. There's a video of him. His first words out of jail was, "Is this a dream?" And there's a video of him eating pizza. You can watch it on Daily Mail. His first words out of jail
Holy
was,
shit.
"Is this a dream?" And he's eating pizza like how Cosby would eat pizza. You know, the thing that he does, like when he touches
Yeah.
his lips, he's like, he's doing
Oh my
that
God.
shit.
This reminds me of that one episode of The Cosby Show where I can't remember who the actress was, the lady who played his wife at the time, who was coming into the room and saying, "Are you eating right? Are you eating the salads?" And Cosby is like, "Yeah, I'm eating the salads." And then she goes out, and then he uncovers from underneath him a box of pizzas, which he then savors really slowly, and then the whole studio audience laughs and claps.
This guy
You
raped
do it in
at
real.
least 50 girls, at
Oh
least
yeah.
50 women that we knew that like actually came forward in the matter. And now he's just walking about like going all jello pudding pop. They loved him in
Mm-hmm.
prison, funny
Oh
enough.
yeah, he was killing it.
For,
He
Oh
was
yeah.
killing
for
it.
a rapist, they loved him. They were still like, "Oh, yo, dog, it's Bill Cosby, man, it's
Mm.
that American Dad." What was that shit? That fucking show he did. It's funny how like I used to look up to him as a comedian because like how much charisma he would have just by sitting down and not having any dirty joke really, and like being able to have that much performance. And I was so enamored by that. I was going like, "Oh my God, like this guy is like amazing." Now I can never look at his comedy because I'm like, "Oh, this guy got up and went back and raped someone."
Yeah, it's
Sorry,
forever tainted. It's forever tainted.
I tried watching his
Yeah.
comedy a couple
Like I can't watch somebody
days
being
ago.
this clean and like being all straight up. I remember him coming on Dr. Phil.
Mm-hmm.
There was a kid who used to love watching porn. There was a black kid. There was a black kid who used to loved watching porn. So of course they got Bill Cosby because he's black too. So he has to give him So he has to give him some advice.
So the
Yeah.
rapist is giving advice to the porn addict. Great, cool,
The
good job,
rapist
Dr.
is
Phil.
giving advice to a porn addict, and it's like the porn, like kind of going all that Cosby shit,
At
and like
least
looking at them in the eyes so intently. You want to look at these things happen to all these women like that? That ain't right, son. That ain't right. And the kid is like being emotional, like oh.
he's still jerking off on the.
He's
on
still, of
Dr.
course,
Phil.
yeah. That's
I'm
still what
shaking
the
my
first
head.
thing he did when he got home. He fucking busted a nut to Angelina Jolie on in Original Sin.
Oh
But-
Jesus!
Wow, or rapists tell you not to watch porn. That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
that's
this guy likes to knock out women. Fun fact: one of the girls was saying is like, I actually wanted to fuck him. He didn't even have to knock me out for me to want to fuck him. He just like knocked me out. Like, I think one of the statements was, this was like 2 years ago. I heard one of the victims said like, I actually wanted to have sex with I wanted to have sex with Bill Cosby. There was no need, and I just woke up and he was there. I was like, oh, okay. I was
What?
like,
Dude,
and she was saying like, I don't want anything from this. I just want you to know this happened.
dude.
yeah.
Like this guy would get off on people being knocked out.
Oh man.
I have my tinfoil hat theory is that he knocks the women out before he rapes them because there's something about his body he doesn't want them to see. but I
Yeah,
don't. I
yeah,
can't
yeah.
imagine what it
Oh, that's
is.
a very smart observation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably
It
it.
could be, yeah, either a micro penis or
Yo, I
maybe
found
not even
out
a micro penis.
there's this thing
What?
about some people have it. It's I really don't know what the name. I forgot hyperglacia or some shit. Lil Dicky, the rapper, has it. You know, Lil Dicky has a show called Dave on FX,
Yeah.
where the pee hole is not on the tip of the penis, but underneath the penis tip.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and this guy has two penis. He has one underneath the tip and one on the base of the shaft. So he has two pee holes. Yeah, he has to sit
Oh,
down when he pees, or else it's just gonna go all over his pants. Yeah, that was wild, dude.
It could be. It
You
could
pee,
be like a
you pee
lot of
like a water
like
park.
okay.
a
I'm
lot of
looking.
people who are rapists or mostly rapists like have the not like not all of them of course, but disfigurement or and on like
Ugly dick.
disfigurement in
Mm-hmm.
genitalia is a common theme.
Mm-hmm.
Epstein was number one. Like Epstein had an egg-shaped dick. So
Yeah. So,
uh, yeah,
I found the CDC website about this.
I thought. Did you just search Bill Cosby's penis?
No, I just said penis hole not centered. And it's called hypospadias.
Thank you.
Hypospadias.
Hypospadias.
Yeah.
Wild.
Spadias.
The
Yeah.
abnormal opening can form anywhere from just below the end of the penis to the scrotum.
So you pee in your balls.
You pee out of your balls. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It's like a water balloon that's leaking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
it couldn't have been that low for Cosby, otherwise, because he had kids. You know, he had to
Oh.
shove his balls into the girl's, into his wife's pussy. That
Maybe
wouldn't have
Jello
worked.
comes out of his dick.
Yellow.
uh,
Yellow.
It could be
because
that.
he's so old, his cum probably looks like pudding. You know, has like that consistency.
No, at his
He's
age,
so
it's
old. I think
powdered.
his thumb is
It's just
dust. Yeah,
powdered
it's
cum.
milk powder, dude.
Yeah.
It's fucking powder milk. That's it.
Yeah.
Powdered
That's
cum.
You can use it to
powder
put out
cum.
a
Yeah,
fire.
yeah.
LeBron James blows
Probably.
it out of Game Seven.
Yeah, it because like yeah, there was some. I think this was on Joe Rogan's podcast. They were discussing. It said like because he's a goofy looking dude,
He
but
is.
not that goofy really. He's a very well put together man, but still like maybe because like people always deemed him as oh you're the jello pudding pop
Yeah.
pudding bull. He had that either an insecurity or he was like oh fuck it I'm not gonna get laid anyway.
Or
So,
that's how he just gets his dick hard. Just that power dynamic of
he was
completely having.
exactly.
Uh,
Some people it could even be his like fetish of only way to getting that hard is like what was it? He was because one of the first things when the cases came out for him was the guy his interview I think on Piers Morgan. It might be somebody else, but for some reason my mind is Piers Morgan. You can actually watch it on YouTube. There's like a 15-second clip of it that he talks about the Spanish fly. That I don't know since when people used to put in some other girl's drink. The girl would drink it, and his stake was that they take some Spanish fly, put it in a drink, and hello America. And it's like, oh
was
fuck,
that was that how all people had sex back in the day?
not all
Okay.
people. I like to believe there was some amount of decency, and some people, of course, resorted to more traditional methods of a golf club or, or a hammer, a brick, plain old fashioned wrestling. So just
So, okay, a couple of things. There is, in fact, a paraphilia or a fetish for people who are aroused by somebody who is asleep, and it's called somnophilia, also known as sleeping beauty syndrome or sleeping princess syndrome. So that's a thing, right? Uh, and secondly, Spanish fly is actually a beetle, it's called a blister beetle, right? And it's called blister beetle because it secretes a substance that will cause blisters on your skin called canthia. I can't. I, Cantharidin. Okay, cantharidin. Now, I learned about this from a book that for some reason my parents had in their personal library called My Uncle Oswald. And
Oh wow.
My Uncle Oswald was written by Roald Dahl, and the children's writer. Well, he used to write smut back in the day, right? So his moneymaker was children's books, right? But
Yeah.
his passion was smut, and the greatest work of like literary smut Roald Dahl ever wrote was My Uncle Oswald. And the plot of My Uncle Oswald was basically the inception of the first sperm bank, where they would collect sperm from like royalty and the greatest minds of the time. But they would steal sperm from men, and the way they would do it is they get a beautiful girl who in the story is half Persian. I don't know what to tell you, man. Relevant to this podcast.
Yes.
Relevant to this podcast.
It is the Persian
It
perspective.
is the Persian perspective. Now it's the Persian perversion. It's also a great title for an album.
Persian.
And so the idea was you get these notable men to try a hook up with a girl, but then at the last minute, what you do is they slip the powder of a Sudanese blister beetle, which is like a more potent form of Spanish fly, and then they get extremely horny, and then they have them bang like a rubber, like a proto fleshlight, which they then use to capture the semen, and then they freeze the semen, and then they sell it to women. That's the plot of My Uncle Oswald. That's how I learned about blister beetles, Sudanese blister beetles,
I have so
and
much
Spanish
questions.
flies. Yeah, yeah.
Why would they do that exactly?
Because
Sell the semen of the
People were,
men who had.
people were
yeah.
kinky
Mhm.
back then.
So
Jesus.
so the semen that they would sell came from people like royalty and
Oh,
geniuses,
It's,
Monet.
it's semen. They all look the same. They all taste the same. They
Yeah.
all.
No, no,
so
no.
so
Good
come.
quality semen goes in the thousands. There's $1,000 a pop for good quality semen.
Shit.
Yeah. So that's the whole plot of the novel. That's how I found out about Spanish Fly. But in real life, what actually
When did you start using?
I don't need I don't need I don't need Spanish Fly. Hell, my pants doesn't even have a fly. I just drop trot as it stands. No, but in real life, what actually happens is that it's not an aphrodisiac; it's an irritant. So what happens is that you take a little bit of this powder, and the cantharidic gets into your urinary tract, and as you pee, it irritates the urethra, and that causes swelling or priapism, and that's what gets you hard.
Ugh. Sounds like a nightmare.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, that's how Spanish fly actually works. It is it's a dicey
So,
way to get a
but
hard on.
yeah, it's kind of like I believe it's like a mild way of giving you a prostate job. It's kind of like
Yeah,
Oh,
irritating
oh.
yourself from the inside instead of like somebody shoves a finger up your ass.
yeah. I mean, if you're into that sort of thing, if you're into that sort of like some people will put like foreign objects into the urethra.
So instead of giving you the talk, your dad just gave
Yeah,
you this book.
No, that was my mom.
yeah,
My mom was
that
my
was your
mom
mom.
was like she was like a hippie, and she set up the gender studies unit in USM. She was like the most liberal person in the family. So I have that bit about my mom giving me a book about the Kama Sutra. That was an
Uh,
actual thing. Like she would just like, have you read the Kama Sutra? I'm like, I pretended like I didn't read the Kama Sutra. Like, no, why would I read the Kama Sutra? It's like it's a classic. You should read the Kama Sutra.
it's a
It's
classic.
okay, okay. It's not as hot when your mom's encouraging you. You know what I mean? It's a lot harder to jerk off to it when your
Yeah,
mom advocates for
you have the worst bedtime stories, dude.
it.
Yeah.
uh,
There was when you mentioned that I don't know how true it is. I haven't looked it up. Well, maybe one of you can right now look it up. I was reading Chuck Palahniuk's. He wrote 3 stories about masturbation.
really? Okay.
Yeah, he has 3 stories on masturbation. One of them is guts. I'm sure maybe Rakib has at least heard of it. Guts in particular is the one that got people knocked out. People would actually faint during his readings.
Holy shit.
Yeah, there are videos of it on YouTube. There's 3 stories. So there's guts and the other two. Let me find it right now. So all three of them are about a form of masturbation, and one of it, a brother tells his little brother about a way that people would masturbate in the Middle East.
Okay.
And there's a way that some people masturbate in the Middle East as a practice of people inserting a rod into the urethra
Ah,
to ejaculate.
ah.
Okay.
And yeah, oh fuck it, I'll spoil the story for you.
Okay.
You should see the look on your face, and it's just oh
So what you?
he so
Okay, you're kebabbing your meat. Okay, I understand.
yeah, you're basically kebabbing your meat. Now I do not know how true it is. All I know about
I'm gonna pass out
you
now.
Chuck Palahniuk's stories is that he always takes bits from other people and other natural real things
Yeah.
that has occurred
Yeah.
and then turns that into a whole concept. So this one in this story, the brother hears about this, is like, "Oh, that's great," and decides to actually try it once. And he sees a candle, and the candle is dripping candle wax from the side of it. So he decides to pull out candle wax.
Dude, I'm gonna pass out. I'm not even kidding. I'm about to pass out. I'm about to
Good,
pass out, dude.
good. And he slowly inserts it through his urethra. Good, good. Let it out. Let
Yeah.
it out. Let it out.
Yeah.
I need to breathe. Hold on.
Yeah. He inserts it into his urethra and begins to masturbate.
Okay.
And then the candle wax kind of gets thinner and breaks.
Of course. Of course.
Because, of course, it's a candle
Of
wax.
course. Of course it does. Of course it fucking
Bro,
does.
this makes like Bill Cosby PG-13, man. What the fuck?
I
This
can never
is
Ah.
I can never look at
uh
Karate Kid the same way again because now wax on, wax off has a different meaning.
oh.
Wax on, wax off.
So
Exactly.
yeah.
He inserts it there and it breaks off. He tries to pull it out. He can't.
Huh?
He ends up having, wow,
Never time.
Rizman, for someone who watches four
Never
horror
time.
movies a
Yeah,
day,
yeah,
stuff that even the
yeah.
concept of it makes me
Yeah.
like ill physically. I still like shiver at the thought of the martyr.
Ugh.
Now an idea
It's
of shoving a candle wax in your cock
just
is what gets to you.
sex stuff weirds me out. I don't know. I'm very icky.
Yeah,
I'm a prude.
well, granted. Okay, I'll give you that. You've had a
I'm
rough trip.
like sex stuff is
It's
like
hard to have a big
so.
cock. I
I'm
know, Rizman. Stop
no.
showing
I'm
up.
basically saying like there's some people. This is like the only way they can get off, and
Yeah,
just that thought gives me a headache. It makes me want to pass out because
yeah, that's obvious.
I'm
Yeah,
imagining what it's like to be them and having this thing inside of you that you can't tell people, and
yeah,
it's
yeah. That's actually well.
intense.
Now you went deeper, but
It's
yeah,
intense,
that's pretty
dude.
much that's pretty much how it
It's
is.
But
intense.
but then
Yeah.
again, the whole notion of penis piercings is fairly old
Oh,
in
my
the
buddy
world.
has one.
Oh,
It's
We're not
wild,
talking
dude.
about just piercing your penis. This is
Dog.
like going exactly in
into
your
the hole, yeah.
keyhole.
We
Yeah.
were dog.
Yeah.
We were going to
Oh,
Dubai, and one of my buddies like check this out, and then like he went into the security radar metal detector, and then he does a thing, all right, belt, shoes, phone, goes through the metal detector, beep 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 beep. The Dubai police, Habibi, yeah, go back, go back, go back. And he's like, oh, sorry, my keys. Puts it in there. He draws it out. He draws it out.
Yeah.
He wants to create the setup, and it goes through the metal detector. Beep beep beep. Habibi, what the fuck are you hiding? And then, oh, I forgot. Everyone turn around. The airport guard's like, what the fuck? And then my buddy like goes into a corner, pulls out his dick piercing, and then gives it to the fucking guy's hand, and then the guy would like pass out. And he's like, my bad, everyone.
sorry.
That's his party trick. Yeah, his party
Pierce
trick.
my cock with it.
He would, he would take his dick piercing out and then put it in people's drinks. He would,
Oh
dude, this
shit.
guy was a fucking savage. I've seen him jerk off into a KFC chicken wrap and fed it to his like mortal nemesis one time. And I'm just watching this kid eat my friend's jizz, and it was so hard not to laugh for like 20 minutes. Yeah,
What
Wow, what a
what
fucking
kind
character. But
what
what
kind
are
of
this guy's
they?
wild.
fucking psycho friends do you have, man?
Having the concept of piercing your cock, it's a pretty
Ah,
normal thing. I know
kicking
someone
people
who
to
has
shit.
I know someone I know the story is one of my friends told me is like that one of her friends this has happened. So I'm getting a third handed bit here. Was said that they went. This guy and her friend went on a date, and then they got home to fuck, and they started fucking, and they
Right.
were drunk, by the way. So they were drunk as a skunk. They fucked for a couple hours,
Damn.
and she woke up in the morning in what's described as the Godfather one's horse head in the bed.
Holy shit.
Yeah, there's like so much blood in the bed,
Oh.
like
Oh.
a lot of blood. Yeah, with a horse's head, but instead of a horse's head, it's her pussy that's bleeding. Her pussy is like a fucking shish kebab right now,
Yeah.
and
Tandoori meat right there.
mangled up. Yeah, her pussy is like a donor, like a,
Holy
and
shit.
it's like a Turkish
Donuts,
donor right there.
strawberry filled.
The guy had a piercing in his dick, and I don't know which part of his dick, but the part that goes in and out most of the time is not like below or above it.
Yeah.
And mid fucking the screw, like like a horror film when the
Yeah,
screw
yeah,
starts
yeah.
In
to
Seven,
unscrew because
Seven.
of
The lust scene in Seven. Yeah.
the lust,
Yeah.
pretty much, yeah, almost there.
Oh my
And
god.
it gets unscrewed. So once it gets unscrewed, the tip of it, which is the sharp tip, is just starts to
It starts
cut her.
scraping. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, just starts scraping away. Just starts scraping away at her pussy.
Oh my god.
Oh man, and like they were like both like, "What the fuck happened? Are you alright? Oh my god!" Blah blah blah. They went to the hospital, and the doctor looked at her pussy and was like, "Madam, your pussy is fucked. This is
Freddie-
like I cannot
Oh, yeah.
reconstruct this for you. Like simple." But they did reconstruct it, luckily. But like she couldn't fuck for like a year or something. Like she had to like keep her pussy shut for a year.
Damn. Remember when we
Yeah,
started this thing and we thought Bill Cosby was about as fucked up as we would get? Those were good times.
those were good times. We thought like starting with Bill Cosby was hard.
Yeah.
And that fucker is alive right now, eating pizza with high spirits. But look at you now, Rizman. Like Bill Cosby is happier man than you right now.
Yeah.
And that guy raped 50 people
Yeah.
and spent 2 years in jail without getting butt fucked. Sure, bro.
The the inside of her vagina. Bro,
Yeah.
like everyone
Mm.
scissor hands shit, man. Oh,
Yeah.
dude, that's fucking
Yeah, that's fucked up. But yeah, I love it that we did start with Cosby. Now we're at the bleeding pussy story.
Oh,
mean-
man.
I mean, they're both connected. That son of a bitch has.
Yeah. It's not great.
The thing
It's-
here's one thing. Here's just one thing on Bill Cosby's case. I do think his wife was in on it too.
Really?
I heard this concept once before from Neil Brennan on Joe Rogan's podcast, because like he know a girl who actually was asked out by Bill Cosby, and the girl's idea was that. But I read a story of someone who said that Bill Cosby drugged her while she and her husband were at his house as a couples, as a like a date night
Jesus. Okay.
with them. And I hope I hope I'm not wrong here. I'm not whoever that this happened. And she said like the wife went away with my husband, and it was me and Bill.
God.
And then I think that's when it happened. So
Yeah.
a part of me is kind of wondering, is like, because here's the thing: the wife certainly knew, and the wife held her ground for some time before she actually make any decisions in regards to this. Part of me goes like, are they one of those weird couples who are like kind of
Partner in crimes.
fall into this? Because I find it like it's more common than people would think.
Right.
That's
So
his
it's
right or die there. Yeah, this is
No-
Giselle.
no. This is like natural born killers, except it's natural born
Natural
rape.
born killer, yeah.
Natural born
Natural born
rapists. Yeah. That's kind
Yeah,
of
I think that was it.
some codependent, toxic, enabling
Feeding
shit.
into each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Weirdly feeding into each other. It could have possibly been that like she was also experiencing. Maybe he introduced it to her and she started to get into it. I don't know.
You guys ever read about the Moors murders?
The Moors murders. No.
It's like a husband and wife pair, and they would just like go across America, kidnapping young children and then just torturing them and murdering. I read that. I read their book when I was like 12, and I'm like, oh my! I used to read a lot. That's all I read. These
Is
kind
it
of
the
books.
one that the husband would beat up the is a white dude who has a
They're both
blonde
white.
wife?
Yeah, she looks like that old timey actress from Mamma Mia. What's her name?
Um, uh, I-
She was
Meryl
the
Streep?
go-to. Yeah. She
Meryl
was like
Streep.
Meryl Streep kind of. Yeah.
And
Oh,
she liked that he beat her up.
yeah. They're wild,
She
dude.
the kind of relationship that they had was that like she loved like he would beat her up and dement her and like the kind those kind of a demented relationship that are like you have to tell me every second what you're gonna do.
Right.
You be my slave basically. That's the kind of
Yeah.
relationship they
Yeah, they're
want.
wild, dude.
Like seriously codependent relationships.
A seriously
Yeah.
codependent relationship, and they did a lot of shit. And the
Mhm.
husband got caught first.
Yes.
Yeah, and she was like kind of trying to get rid of the husband in a sense to
Mhm,
get
mhm.
herself
No,
out of the
they
situation. Apparently.
probably got like at least 20, 25 kids. But
Yeah,
God
Seriously.
damn, man.
both
Oh,
of them had a horrible childhood, by the way.
Oh well, go figure then.
Yeah.
You know. Mm,
Fuck, man.
yeah.
Shit. There you go. Bill
They.
Cosby.
where did they find these
Masturbation.
women? Fucking, Tinder. The fuck?
This man, I'm
I
pretty sure
think
you might have dated one or
you can
two.
find. You might have got a few of them
My
in your
life.
belt,
My
brother.
life.
The fact that you've survived it deserves
Yeah,
an
me
honor.
too, dude.
You,
Me
you
too.
deserve a you deserve a Purple Heart.
No,
Just because
really.
of
Every day I wake up, I'm like, I could have been a dad. I could have been, with a a vegan. All these things.
that.
Yeah.
I wake up every day, feeling like P Diddy, man. I feel good. Amen.
Yeah.
Praise Allah.
What you call it? Every day is your ice cube. Today was a good day.
A good day.
You didn't have to use your KY.
Yeah.
I'm a dry guy.
Mhm.
I'm good.
Oh, Jesus.
Dude, I don't understand why people jerk off with lotion. I don't get it. Is it like a white people thing? I don't.
You go dry?
Yeah, I'm a 100% dry. Yeah. It's dry the better. Yeah.
The drier the better, yeah.
You
Yeah.
jerk off like you eat your food.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Exactly,
Yeah.
Rakim, you get me. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't. I like to separate things from the
Yeah.
wet and the dry. Also, I have dry skin. Yeah, my dick got like it looks like a fucking crocodile's belly.
Well, I
Yeah,
can't
it's
blame
got.
you, man. Like I have calluses. I have calluses on my hands, so it really enhances the flavor. So it's like I have these like hard calluses here.
Yeah.
Holy
It really
shit.
makes it feel good. Yeah, it just makes a feeling. It makes a feeling like being. It makes you feeling fucking an octopus.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
No,
got like
not
armor.
not an octopus. Like maybe a fucking reptile or whatever
Yeah.
kind of a reptile, big enough to fuck.
Yeah.
I read you either get asthma or dry skin. That's one of the two things you could pass on to your kids, but never both. Yeah. So my family.
Asthma or dry skin? Well,
Yeah.
I got both.
Really?
Oh shit.
Fuck. Okay.
No, I do have a. I'm a mixed bag of shit. I don't know. I used to have asthma when I was younger, when I was a kid.
Yeah, man.
Not asthma attacks or anything like needing the inhaler and shit
Rakeem?
like that. But
Rakeem?
used to have bad.
Is your family also incest like me and Artie's?
No, I'm mixed race basically, so it's like couldn't be incest if we tried, but
Nope.
I have asthma, but my skin is oily, so you might be right because I don't
Funny
get
enough-
dry skin.
Funny enough, I'm far from incest because if you look at my father's lineage and my mother's lineage, they definitely were not in the same continent.
So you're not. But you're full Persian.
I'm full Persian. I'm not. Continent is an exaggeration, my friend. I'm just saying, it's like they're just like from two completely different tribes.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, the tribes within Iran. Iran is quite vast.
Yeah.
So
Are the tribes hostile towards each other?
not really, not
Yeah.
really. No, Iran, well, here's how it goes. Not now, at least not now. Used to be back in the day. I'm pretty sure.
I know.
Yeah.
I know one
Yeah, I'm
African
loving.
comic. His parents are from like differing, opposing African tribes, and like just his existence is like it's not safe for him. You know what I'm saying?
Uh,
Yeah, it's not
oh,
safe.
so he's the son of. He's a sin.
Yeah,
He's
yeah, yeah, yeah. It is. It's like a Targaryen and a Stark. You know, it's not. Yeah, things don't end well.
a Targaryen and the Baratheon. It's just oh fuck. Well, that
Yeah.
ends that segment.
Yeah.